In this lesson, we're going to go over the 4 main panels and get you started in creating your first sequence in Adobe Premiere. You'll start out in the home screen. We want to click the new project because we want a new document to open. In the project name, name your project. For project location, this is asking you where you want to save your project to. So just click on this drop-down arrow and choose the location. This folder is the location of the videos you want to import. We won't import this way. I'll show you how to import another way. In the import settings, make sure Create New Sequence is active and automatic transcriptions as well. Then hit Create. This will take us to the edit mode. This is the mode you'll be working on mainly. To make sure we're all working in the same workspace, click on Window, Workspace, and make sure you're on Starter. I'm going to reset mine as well by going back to Window, Workspace, Reset to Save Layout. Also, go back to Window and make sure Source Monitor is checked. Your Premiere should look like this now. Premiere is set up in different sections called panels, and each panel has its own purpose to help you create your video. Now, there are plenty of panels in Premiere to help you create your video, but the 4 main ones are the Project panel, the Source Monitor, the Program Monitor, and the Timeline panel. The Project panel helps you organize and find your assets. All the footage, sounds, images, and other assets you import will appear here. The Source Monitor allows you to preview videos before adding it to your sequence. The Program Monitor allows you to watch your sequence all together. The Timeline panel is where you'll arrange all your videos, images, and sounds to edit and create your video. Adobe calls your videos a sequence. When your clips and other media are added, you'll use the Program Monitor to view it. Now let's get our files imported. I create folders to organize my assets in the project window. So all the videos, sounds, images, and anything else you'd like are in their own folder. This will help get you organized. Make sure you're on the list view by clicking this icon. Click on this folder icon to create a new folder and name it Videos. Click somewhere in the black area to deselect the folder. If you don't, any folder you create will end up inside the Videos folder. Click the folder icon again and name it Sounds. And do one for Images. Now click on the Videos folder. Now there are a couple ways to import a file. One way is to go up to File, highlight Import. You can go to your folder that your assets are on and drag your files in that folder. Or right-click your mouse and import that way. That's how I typically do it. As soon as you choose Import, a window menu will pop up for you to find your files. Now import your videos in the Videos folder, import your sound in the Sounds folder, and import your image in the Images folder. Now let's create your first sequence. Go to File, New, Sequence, choose HD 1080p at 29.97 FPS, which means frames per second. Click on the Settings tab and you'll see the information about the sequence. Frame size is 1920 by 1080. Frames per second will be at 29.97. And just leave all these settings as is for now and hit OK. As you will see, we now have a sequence. You'll see it here in your project panel and here in your timeline named Sequence 01. So now let's take a look at your timeline. You have a space for video and audio. The V1, V2, V3 are where you'll place all your videos, text, or images. And A1 and A2 are where you'll place all your audio. So if you only want a certain part of your video to be in your timeline, double-click it and you'll see it in the Source panel. Hit play or slide this blue marker to see the entire video. These blue numbers here are the length of time for this video. You can set what are called in and out markers to only choose those sections you want in that video. For this lesson, I'm going to move the blue marker to 2 seconds. Click on this icon, it'll say Mark In. The in mark is the new start of this video. Now drag to the 10 seconds mark and click on the other icon. This is your out mark. The out mark is the new end for this video. So with this in and out marking, we are choosing what parts of the video we want. Now as you see, you have an in and out mark shown in the gray bar. Now drag the image in your timeline and that's the part of the video that will be added to your timeline. If you get this warning, just click on Keep Existing. Depending on how videos are recorded, different videos will have different settings. We want to keep it to our sequence settings that we created earlier. To zoom in your timeline, drag this circle in and out to see a thumbnail of the video get larger or smaller. So click on the program panel and you'll see the video in your timeline. In your timeline, drag this blue marker to see the entire video play in the program panel. Now let's drag the other two videos in the timeline. We want the entire video, so just drag it in your timeline. Let's drag it to the end of the first one. And do the same for the last one. And let's drag our image to the end as well. As you can see, the video too has sounds. That's going to end up in the audio section. This icon will bring you to the start of the sequence. Now hit the play icon in the program panel and your 3 videos in one image will be played through in sequence. Hit the stop icon to stop. Let's drag our audio in the audio section. This will play until the end of the audio file. To cut it, use the razor tool in the toolbar and cut it to where your video ends. Now go back to your arrow tool in the toolbar, select and delete the remaining audio that you don't need. Now hit play again and now your video will play with the sound. There you go. Now you've made your first sequence in Adobe Premiere. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you next time.